I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I will kill you, Fjolnir. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the movie The Northman. The Northman is directed by Robert Eggers, whose most notable films are The Witch and The Lighthouse. I saw a trailer for The Northman shortly before it came out, and I knew I wanted to go see this one in theaters. The synopsis is as follows. Prince Amleth is on the verge of becoming a man when his father is brutally murdered by his uncle who kidnaps the boy's mother. 2 decades later, Amleth is now a Viking who raids Slavic villages. He soon meets a seeress who reminds him of his vow: save his mother, kill his uncle, avenge his father. Obviously, I'm very interested in the Viking culture and enjoy TV shows and movies that surround it. And with an all-star cast and seemingly great visuals, I had to check this one out. So without further ado, let's get into the 6 things that make a movie great. 1. The plot. What I thought was really interesting about the plot of this movie was how isolated the story seemed, which is a good thing. I just noticed that in so many of the Viking movies and TV shows, it just really seems like this is a huge world, so many Vikings, so many warring countries, but this movie did a great job of really focusing just on this story and bringing it down to earth. It knew what it wanted to focus on. It focused just on this storyline. Every moment had weight and value, and it didn't get distracted by any other kind of subplot or agenda. And when you give that kind of focus and attention to detail for a plot, it ends up being really good. It seems like Eggers did a really good job studying Viking culture and including as much of it as he could in as much detail as he could, and that made the plot so much better. Amleth watches his father murdered, manages to escape, and has to find his way in the world with this chip on his shoulder, knowing that he's going to have to come back and avenge his father and save his mother and kill Fjolnir. So the plot was focused, it was driven, and it was very intense to watch. I just found myself completely engulfed in this story from start to finish. The plot gets a huge thumbs up. 2 is family friendliness. This one seems pretty easy to rule out, but there's something that I wanted to talk about. This movie is incredibly violent. There's blood, there's gore, it's very brutal, it's very realistic, and it can be tough to see some of the things that you do on screen. The attention to detail of this time period was very good as well because there wasn't much profanity. The language very much stayed consistent with what was being said at that time, as far as I know. But the thing I wanted to talk about is this. There is nudity in this film, but it is just rear, female, and male nudity. Everything else is silhouetted. And though I don't appreciate nudity in any capacity in filmmaking, I think it takes a lot of maturity as a director to not include everything that you could, even though it was almost expected. Like, because of all the content I've watched and the way that our society is going, I expected there to be a lot of nudity potentially in this film. But I have a feeling that Eggers didn't want that to take away from the film. So I give major props to Eggers for using that bit of discretion in his film to help focus the story and not lose focus on a bunch of nudity. In addition to that, this film is just a dark, gritty film, and it's a revenge story. So this movie is definitely tailored towards an older, more mature audience. Family friendliness gets a thumbs down. 3 is acting and script. Holy free holies, this movie is full of good actors. Alexander Skarsgård, who is freaking ripped. Anya Taylor-Joy, William Dafoe, Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke. All of these actors and actresses did an excellent job in this film. You were engrossed in this film from start to finish, and there was no performance that pulled you out of the story. And when that happens, it's movie magic, baby. The script of this movie is excellent as well. The story progresses so naturally through the years, and even the day-to-day interactions that these characters are having seem very realistic and very well thought out. And again, so much of the attention to detail of the culture makes this film so incredible. Excellent performances all around, great attention to detail of the Nordic culture, and amazing performances by everybody. So acting and script get a huge thumbs up. 4 is character development. It's so nice to find a film that doesn't try to focus on a bunch of other things or pushing all these agendas and literally just focuses on the story and the character development. Some of the moments that we get to see while Amleth is a boy with his father, played by Ethan Hawke, are very touching and help form the character of this boy as he's younger in becoming a man. And even when it flashes forward to when Amleth is a man, because of the time they took to build him as a boy with his father, all his actions and character are very believable. Also, this film develops the love relationship between Amleth and Olga very naturally and very beautifully during this film. It doesn't feel forced, it feels naturally progressed from 2 people who don't trust each other to two people who realize that they have more in common than they think, and that they make a great team. After a dry spell of films that had terrible character development, it's very refreshing to see a story like this play out on screen with solid character development all the way around. So character development gets a thumbs up. 5 is visuals and CGI. I feel like there's CGI in almost every film, but there were very seldom moments where you could tell that they were using it. There's only one moment that very briefly pulled me out of the film because I could tell how fake it was. But other than that, the visuals and CGI in this film are absolutely incredible. I loved the way that this movie was shot. It used a lot of one-shots just panning as you went along with a character walking on screen or fighting on screen. In fact, the scene where Amleth and the other Vikings are raiding the Saxon village is freaking incredible. Brutal, but incredible. And the scenes that involve William Dafoe. Just all the way around, this movie had so many good visuals, and I know that speaks to Eggers as a director, so CGI and visuals get a huge thumbs up. And 6 is rewatchability. Though this movie is brutal and violent and dark, there is a really good story here. Seeing the character progression of Amleth and him meeting people on his journey like Olga, this is just a really solid movie all the way around. And because of the discretion and the attention to detail used by director Eggers, I have to give rewatchability a thumbs up. With all these things considered, I have to give The Northman an 8.5 out of 10. A simple but solid plot, great acting, incredible visuals, and attention to detail drive this film forward to being one of the best movies that I've seen this year so far. It is dark, there is some nudity, there is a great deal of violence and gore. But if you're in the mood for a great story that's a bit longer, as it's about 2 hours and 15 minutes long, with incredible acting, and you like Viking related content, I would definitely recommend going to see The Northman in theaters. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen The Northman, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.